righty. How we doing, y'all? How we doing? What's everyone up to on this fine... Is it Wednesday for you guys there? What day is it today? Wednesday night. How we doing? How we feeling? How we living? I'll be honest with you guys. I don't want to get too graphic, but I threw up a lot last night. I must have had food poisoning or something, but it was not a pleasant experience. How's your days been going? What's up? How we doing? How we feeling? I'm excited for today's mock. If you have not dropped a like yet, go ahead and drop a like.
You like that? You like that?
Let's see if we can get as many people in this stream as possible. That way we can get more votes on each of these picks. So if you can drop a like for your boy, that would be awesome. Jeremy says, okay, so I'm catching up with the chat. What's up, Trevor? He says Trayvon Walker, #1. Dion says Hutchinson is an immediate impact. Neil says, or Jeremy says, Neil is first pick, protect Lawrence. What's up, B-Mac? Steven says, if I were a Jags fan, I'd be hoping for basically any trade back deal. Garrett says, pretty much confirmed at this point that it's Walker. I've heard some Walker hype for sure. Stephen Day, nobody wants to trade up. That's true. Vegas really thinks that it's Trayvon now. Dion says, you can't trust anything from the past few days. A lot of smoke. There is a lot of smoke. That's true. That's also true. Gator says they need to protect Trevor Lawrence. Icky being at plus 450 also makes a lot of sense. It's minus 275 for Walker, plus 275 for Hutch. What's good, Zach Miller? He says, I can't wait for tomorrow. Same. I can't wait for tomorrow as well. I'm excited for the draft. I'm going to be on Twitch live streaming it. Got a little tea this morning, you know, trying to settle the stomach. Because, my God, what a time last night. That was rough. What's up, Josh? Welcome in. Hey, it's Wednesday. Alan's here. Steven says, should have got some Chick-fil-A instead. I wish I could have. Zach says, hope you're feeling better. Throwing up is one of the worst feelings. Genuinely, it is. And again, I don't want to get too graphic, but you know when you have that moment where you know you're about to do it, so you have to find the closest resource. Well, I guess it could be worse, but I did it into the sink instead of the toilet. But it was, how do I say that with this without completely grossing everyone out? The texture was too thick to just let it go down the sink. I'll say that. Anyway. What is wrong with me? Am I wanting everyone to turn the stream off right now? Garrett says my top 3 is Walker, Hutch, and Icky. What's a fantasy football family live from Vegas here? Oh, live from Vegas. Love it. Love it, Kev. You're in Vegas? I love it. Gator says, what players are you most interested or concerned to see where they go? I think Stingley is someone that I'm really interested in the real draft. Where is Stingley going to go? Kyle Hamilton, how far will he fall? Same with Kayvon. And then all the wide receivers, to be honest, really interesting me. Alan says, let's make a dream draft for the Jets come true. If we can pull off a trade for DK or Debo, we have the Jets get KT and Jameson at 4 and 10. Yes, sir. Josh says, I kind of love puking. You feel immediately better, and it's a gentle reminder that you're human. There's actually something really, really funny in that. I love that. I didn't enjoy it last night, I'll be honest. But here we are. We're doing a mock draft today. It's going to be a fun time. Now, unfortunately, this mock draft simulator is not going to allow us to do trades because I'm not paying for premium. So we're going to make every pick as it were. There will be trades. Of course, there's going to be trades. We can't predict what they're going to be. But we're going to do our best to go ahead and give, you know, our best predictions. Again, if you have not dropped a like, show some love.
You like that? You like that?
Show your boy some love. If we get more likes, I think we're going to have more people find the stream, which means we can get more votes on each of these picks. Which, you know, I want as many votes as possible. I want as many people to be able to bring their thoughts as possible. Can I ask you guys as well, is the music a good sound? Is my mic a good volume? Is everything good volume? Can you hear this? Can you hear that draft sound? Let me know, guys. Does everything sound alright? All right. Gator says, which wide receiver do you think best fits for Green Bay and KC as they both need them? We'll talk about that here soon. How many trades do you think will go in the first? Someone made a prediction yesterday, and they said their prediction basically was that we will see the least amount of trades in a first round ever. And I kind of like that prediction because a lot of people do want to trade back, which would lead me to think that there's not going to be a whole ton of trading up. But of course, we could be wrong. They could set the record tomorrow, you know, like who knows. So John Herbert says only trade that can be truly predicted is the Patriots trading back. I love it. All right, everything sounds good. I like it. All right, guys. So with the first pick, you can now vote in the chat. You can now vote. Again, how this is going to work is we're pretty much with every pick, I'm going to give you guys a chance to vote on who you think it should be. Okay. So with the first pick, the players I put there, I put Aiden Hutchinson, Trayvon Walker, Evan Neal, and Kayvon Thibodeau. We have 30 votes. I'm going to give you 1 second if you haven't submit your vote to vote. I do think, unfortunately, the Cam Robinson signing probably takes away any offensive lineman here. Now, I don't understand how you give Cam Robinson $18 million a year for being one of the most average left tackles the NFL has ever seen. But, okay, they did it. So, in their mind, he's going to develop. I don't understand it, but they did it. So, I think that pretty much leads us. What we want to do in this mock is predict what's going to happen. This is a predictive. This is not a I'm the GM like I did yesterday or 2 days ago. We're all going to predict it together, okay? So we're going to be voting on each of these. All right, so Garrett says, I also think Bills go Brees in the first for the 5th-year option. Could potentially franchise tag him. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Saxer says, I'll say one trade, Saints or Steelers for Ritter or Willis. I like it. All right, here we go with the first pick. Can I go ahead and start this? Okay, yeah. I was like, wait. All right, with the first pick of the 2022 NFL Draft, with 42% of the vote, the Jacksonville Jaguars are selecting Aiden Hutchinson. So Aiden Hutchinson falls, well, not really falls. Sorry, that's such a dumb thing to say. He's the first player off the board. Aiden Hutchinson lands in Jacksonville. You know, these are obviously your votes, guys. You are making the decisions here. I have to be honest. I think it's going to be Trayvon from what we've heard. I think it should be Aiden or an offensive lineman, but I think it's going to be Trayvon from what we've heard so far. So with the Lions, what are we thinking here? What do we want to put down? Trayvon Walker. Give me some ideas for you guys to vote on. We'll put Trayvon. I know people keep talking about Malik Willis being an option here. I will also put Kayvon Thibodeau, I guess. Who else, guys? Who do we want? Willis and Pickett. Malik, Kayvon, Trayvon, Malik. Is that who we think it's going to be? Just those guys? I mean, yeah, who else would it be really here? I don't see them going cornerback this early. Yeah, I just don't think that they go outside of those three, Trayvon, Malik, and Kayvon. But you know what? Just for fun, I'll put one more player in there. All right, so the poll is now up. So feel free to vote. You can vote right now. Now, if you don't know where the poll is, it's in the chat, okay? So it's in the chat box. You can actually vote in the chat box. It's a little poll that comes up, and then you can submit a vote by just clicking on it. It's also in the live chat button if you're watching on mobile. But Kevin says, I agree, double down on offensive line help for Trevor. That conference is ridiculous. I agree as well. Alan says, tackle, maybe just vote on those three. Josh says, do they need a wide receiver? I think they do, but I think they'll probably address wide receiver in the 2nd or 3rd rounds of this year's draft. That's what I would imagine. But, hey, guys, while you're voting, because that link is live for you guys to vote on. While you are, I just don't see any votes. I wonder, can you guys see the poll? Are you guys able to see the poll? A lot of people are saying they can see it, but they can't vote. We had a percentage, but it restarted? What in the world? All right, let me try this again then. Let's try this again, y'all. Okay, well, there was 22 votes there. It just wasn't showing up. It's so weird. Okay, well, we'll try this again. Hopefully this won't be a problem going forward. Otherwise, we will move over to Discord to vote on things. So we'll figure it out regardless. Trayvon Walker, Malik Willis, and Kayvon Thibb. All right, let's just leave it at 3. All right, guys, let's try this. Let's try this. A new poll is up, so let me know if you guys can vote on it. And if you can't, we might move the poll over to Discord. Same thing? What in the world, YouTube? All right. This is going to be way more difficult for me to do. Sorry, guys. You got the vote in, Josh? Why is it being so difficult here? Polls are broken. How good is a multi-billion-dollar company? Just can't figure out how to put a poll. All right, let's see if we can do this. I'm going to try something on Discord, guys. So transition to Discord to vote. All right, can everyone see that over there on the NFL draft season part? Now, if you're watching and you want to vote with us, you're going to have to join our Discord because right now YouTube is fucked. It's showing the votes again. Hey, you know what? That's true, honestly. Zach made a good point. Okay, so it's still showing the results. I'm sorry, guys. What a mess. All right, so it's still showing the results. However, it just takes like it will only show the actual results until I hit the end button. So you can still vote, but it just isn't working as far as showing it straight away for some reason. So we're gonna go ahead and make the pick here. We're gonna keep voting here on YouTube polls. Every time you vote, it's being accounted for. It just doesn't show live. So we're going to go ahead and make the pick here. With 43% of the votes, the Detroit Lions are selecting Trayvon Walker. Welcome to Detroit. And now the Houston Texans are on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. So with the third pick, give me some ideas. I'll throw some ideas out there, and then we'll vote on it here in the chat. With the third pick, the Texans select. I see you over there, Trippy. I see you over there. I don't know if our notifications are on Twitch, but all right. So some people have said Evan Neal. Some people have said Sauce Gardner. I'll put Kayvon there because do we think Kayvon Thibodeau's an option? I think it is. Icky. All right. So are we happy with those? All right, so I'm not going to be able to put Sauce and Derek Stingley. So I'm just going to put Sauce because we can't put both of them, okay? All right. You can now go ahead and vote on the third pick with the Houston Texans. Your vote counts. You have the power. This is democracy. Again, we are trying to predict what's going to happen. So, you know, let's do it from that perspective. Josh says, idea for next year, do this draft a bit earlier, then use those landing spots for mocks. Hey, that could be fun, Josh. That could definitely be fun. August says that makes it more like a real draft. You don't know until it's announced. Hey, that's true. Yeah, this will be fun now. So, by the way, your votes are counting. Your votes are counting in the chat. You just can't see them. And then when I hit end. All right, so, and you know what we're going to do is I'm going to have a little timer. I'm going to have a little timer. So, all right, when it hits the 30 mark, then we are going to decide who the vote is. So actually, that's way too long. All right, you have 15 seconds. 15 seconds to get your votes in. You can vote in the live chat section. We are voting on who the Houston Texans are going to select here. Now, if you're watching and you haven't dropped a like, it would mean a lot. And I don't really care so much that this video gets a ton of likes, but the more likes that we get, the more people can join us to vote together. So drop a like if you haven't. That would be awesome. Stingley is plus 200 right now for Vegas to go 3. I could see it happening. All right, so the clock is up. Let's see who the pick is for the Houston Texans. So this is fun. All right, so with 36% of the vote, I had no idea what was going to happen, but the Houston Texans select Icky Ekwonu. Welcome to Houston, Big Icky. And now we have the New York Jets on the clock. So go ahead and comment who you want to be in the poll. I have some ideas off the top of my head that I will add here, but you guys go ahead and comment what you want to be. So we see some Sauce. I'll do Kayvon. Stingley, okay. Okay, so we got Sauce, Kayvon, Stingley. Anybody want to do a tackle? Let's put Evan Neal here as well, guys, because it looks like they're not gonna stick with Jermaine Johnson. All right, you know what? Jermaine Johnson could happen too. I need to pick. I'm gonna put Neal here just because they're not. It doesn't look like they're actually going to keep Mekhi Becton from all the reports. So I gave you guys some options there. So go ahead and vote. The poll is live, ladies and gentlemen. It is live. The fourth pick. Don't be surprised if the Jets trade for Debo here soon. I keep hearing that all around. Someone just mentioned that in one of our follower leagues as well. All right, again, you can submit your vote in the chat. I said the third pick, but it's the fourth pick. That's my bad. Alan says there's nothing about dropping Becton at the moment. No, I don't think that they would drop him, but I think that if they are trying to move on from him, like the reports have stated, it would probably be via trade. Apparently, there were reports that he was once over 400 pounds last year. Steven says they probably should go offensive tackle, but I think Kayvon. Trippy says, Zach, after this stream, look at my mock in the Charlie League. Yes, sir, I will. Just remind me, is it a real NFL mock draft? All right, you guys have 10 seconds left to submit your votes. Again, in the live chat, you can see a poll. All right, so in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see the results here. So, with the fourth pick of the draft, the New York Jets are selecting Sauce. Got lost in the sauce. Ahmad Sauce Gardner. The Big Apple Sauce. And now the New York Giants are on the clock. Badaki's in the chat. Aren't you supposed to be in Fiji right now? On your honeymoon? What are you doing, kid? All right, with the 5th pick, we now get to decide the Giants pick. So you guys let me know who you want here. Who's in contention for you? Charles Cross, okay. Evan Neal, okay. You got the airport. I love it. Safe travels, brother. All right, so we got Cross, we got Neal. I feel like Kayvon is someone we should put in here. Kayvon Thib. Okay, we got Cross, we got Evan Neal, Kayvon Thib. I feel like the only other player that maybe could happen here is Derek Stingley, so. And it probably won't because I have another pick soon. Icky's already gone off the board at 3. All right, you can now vote in the chat. Again, if you haven't dropped a like, please drop a like. I don't really care so much about likes on the video, but the more likes we get, the more people who will probably join the video to help vote on each of these picks. But you can now vote in the chat on who the Giants pick will be between Cross, Neal, Thibodeau, and Stingley. Now, keep in mind, when you vote, it's not going to show live. But when I hit end poll, we will see all of your votes, and your vote will count. YouTube is just a mess right now. Josh says, I could see a wide receiver so they can unload one of those big contracts. I could see that too. I think that might be 7 more than 5, but I don't think that's crazy to say. Ellen, I love it. What's up, Ellen? She says, send help. He can't stop. Ellen, are you going to watch the draft or what's going on? Again, guys, you can make your vote for this pick. We vote on every single pick together with the poll that is in the chat. I am going to give you guys 10 more seconds here to make your votes, and we will select whoever it is. So, let's see. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have officially selected someone. I don't know who it is. So with the 5th pick, the New York Giants select Evan Neal. Welcome down to New York, baby. Evan Neal is in the Big Apple. Now they are going to try and protect Daniel Jones a little bit better. We'll see. It's definitely a building block for the future. I keep hearing a lot of hype around Charles Cross, which I think I would rather go Evan Neal, but I understand it. All right, now the Panthers are on the clock, and this is going to get interesting, so you guys let me know what you want me to do. Again, we are trying to predict, not what you would do if you were the GM here. We want to try and predict and get as many of these picks right, okay? So, tell me what you think. I do think, yeah, we'll put a couple quarterbacks here. Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett. I think that makes sense, too. Unfortunately, we can't trade down because I'm not going to pay for the premium version. Come on, TDN. What is going on there? Really, I have to buy something to use the trade? Cross. Okay, Charles Cross. I think that's definitely an option here, too. Kayvon. Okay, I'll put Kayvon, too. All right, so the poll is officially up there. All right, the poll is officially up there. You can now vote on the 6th pick with the Panthers. Your vote will determine who the city of Carolina, I mean, it's not a city, who the state of the Carolinas will have their hope in. There's a little kid in Carolina right now who's going to be watching the draft tomorrow, and you're making the choice for him. What jersey is he buying? Trippy says, this is why PFF is better for mock drafts. They don't have a good perspective draft board, but you can trade. Yeah, a predictive draft board. Yeah, their predictive draft board is a nightmare. But I agree, they're actually not bad. I wonder if I can switch over to that. As you guys are voting, again, put your votes in for the Panthers in the live chat. And if you haven't dropped a like, please drop a like. I'm not asking likes for likes. I'm asking a like because the more likes we get, the more people will join the stream, which means the more votes we will get. And at the end of the day, I want as many votes, as many thoughts here as possible. You won't be able to see your vote until I end the draft. YouTube has a little bit of an issue at the moment. But how we feel about this, guys? How we feel about this? Everyone good to switch over? So who do we go here? We went Aiden, Trayvon, Icky, Sauce, and Neil. So we went Aiden. It was Trayvon next, right? Aiden, Trayvon, Icky, Sauce. Aiden, Trayvon. Where's Trayvon? Trayvon. Icky. Then we went Sauce. Then we went Evan Neal. All right, now we're cooking with gas, baby. How we feeling about this? All right. So I'm going to keep this up in the background because I actually think their predictive draft board is much better than PFF's draft board. That's just my opinion there. All right, we feel good? Everyone feel good? Now we can do trades, okay? So if there's a time when we want to do a trade and I think it makes sense, we all may think it makes sense, then we'll pursue that. All right, so the poll is now live. Okay, now the poll is live. Everyone can see the poll. Hey, YouTube's a mess today. Saxon says Kayvon is falling. If I'm Jacksonville's GM, I'm going Thibodeau over anyone. Daniel Badaki says, I think Neil could have Becton problems, kind of scared. I don't think you should be worried about Evan Neal, but I understand it. Polls are fixed, that's right. All right, guys. So with the 6th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Charles Cross, tackle, Mississippi State. So they get a little building block for the future of their team. So now we've got the 7th pick, and the Giants are on the clock here. What do we think is an option here for the New York Football Giants? All right, Derek Stingley, someone said. All right, Kayvon Thibodeau, someone said. Kyle Hamilton, someone said. Anyone else you guys want to vote on? Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson. All right, I love it. I love it. I love it. Levon says they go quarterback here. Why wait on Baker then? I think you're probably talking about the Panthers pick. I could see them going quarterback. All right, guys, the vote is officially up. All right, you can officially vote. Derek Stingley, Kayvon, Kyle Hamilton, and Garrett Wilson are all options for you to vote on. You can all vote on those options in the poll right now. If you don't see your vote, I promise it's being taken into account. Sometimes YouTube's polls are just wild. But to recap, for anyone who is just joining, we are doing a voting system mock draft where you guys make the picks with me. So Aiden went 1, Trayvon went 2, Icky went 3, then Sauce, Neal, and Cross. I want Ahmad Sauce Gardner and Charles Cross to be on the same team in New York. Okay, whether that's with the Giants or the Jets, I don't care. But I just think it would be the coolest highlight in the papers or in the press to be like crisscross applesauce. You know what I'm saying? Like something. Yeah, it's a little bit lame, but you know you could get fun with it with the apparel. All right, I'll give you 10 seconds to submit your votes here for the 7th pick for the New York Football Giants. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the poll has ended. So with the 7th pick of the NFL Draft, with a whopping 71%, the New York Football Giants select Kayvon Thibodeau, edge out of Oregon. And I see a lot of people saying there's no way Kayvon falls this far. To be honest, I think it's a possibility. I really do. I'm not saying that he should fall. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be selected in the top 2. But I think it's a possibility that he does fall from what we've heard. And we're trying to do predictive drafting here. So, yeah, I definitely get the concerns, though. All right, the 8th pick is up. Now you can comment in the chat who you want to vote on here, and then we will put the poll live. So with the 8th pick, the Falcons, Derek Stingley, for sure I can see that being an option. Derek Stingley is an option for sure. Garrett Wilson. Malik Willis. Yeah, I think Malik could make sense. Some people have said Drake London. All right, I'll put Drake London here. A lot of Drake Londons here. Okay. So you got 4 options there, guys. I tried to get as many of the options as you guys were commenting. Unfortunately, there's only 4 options that you can put on a poll here. So you can now officially vote in the chat. There's a poll up between Stingley, Garrett Wilson, Malik Willis, and Drake London. If you have voted and you haven't seen it reflect in the poll, don't worry. YouTube's just glitching out, but it will. Your vote will be counted. I think, by the way, if there's any Giants fans out there, I know Badaki was watching. This is a dream scenario for you here. To get Kayvon at 7, Evan Neal at 5. I think Evan Neal is one of the best players in the draft, if not the best player in the draft. I really do. So this would be a dream scenario for Giants fans, in my opinion. All right. Again, submit your votes in the chat. Good job. I appreciate all the likes that people have been dropping. If you haven't dropped a like, show some love and drop it. The only reason I'm asking is because the more people we get in the stream, the more votes we can have. But yeah, don't worry. Keep voting. Keep voting. I love the conversations that people are having in the chat too. I think we'll do a trade, but I think we'll wait to do a trade at pick 10 here. All right, so let's go ahead and see who the pick is here. With the 8th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, with a whopping 50% of the vote, the Atlanta Falcons are selecting Garrett Wilson, wide receiver, Ohio State. So now Atlanta gets a little bit of help with the wide receiver position. Let's be honest, they are weak in a lot of different areas, but their wide receiver depth is shockingly bad. So this makes a lot of sense for Garrett Wilson. Now they got a weapon to put in that offense with Kyle Pitts, so there's not so much pressure on Pitts. He kind of help whoever the quarterback is there next year. So I think it makes a lot of sense. And now the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock. Who do we want Seattle here to be drafting? Comment down below, and I'll put it in the poll for you. As a Falcons fan, I'm about Wilson. Get Stingley or JMO or Wilson. I can respect that. Or Willis. Stephen Day says, I'm scared. How much are my Seahawks going to hurt me if Malik falls to them? Jordan Davis, someone said Stingley. Jermaine Johnson. Jordan Davis, Stingley. All right, I'm going to put Stingley up there. I keep seeing Jordan Davis. I see Jermaine Johnson. I see you. I hear you. All right, Stingley, Jordan Davis, Jermaine Johnson. I don't feel like there's really an offensive tackle. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't see an offensive tackle on the board that I think, because Charles Cross is already gone, right? Yeah, so I'm not sure there would be a tackle that makes a whole lot of sense there. Yeah. And I see some Maliks as well. All right. So you get 4 options here for the Seattle Seahawks with the 9th pick. The poll is officially live. So you can see the poll in the chat. I probably sound like I'm saying the same thing over and over and over. I just want to make sure people who are coming in for the first time know that you can submit your vote for this 9th pick with the poll that's in the live stream chat. Now, you might not be able to see your vote, but I promise you it's being accounted for. Right now, it's just not showing live results. Saxter says, hyped. It feels like Christmas Eve. I'll be honest, I 100% agree. I feel like, I said this to someone yesterday, I actually like draft day. I prefer draft day over almost any day of the year. Like, Christmas is great, but I gotta do some things I don't really want to do on Christmas, like, do whatever my family wants, which, you know, I love my family, but I mean, what is the best day of the year? I actually do think it's draft day because there's just so much hope. You know what I mean? There's just so much hope that any team could get better. My team could finally make the right choice. You know what I mean? So I love draft day. All right, so Stingley, Jordan Davis, Jermaine Johnson. I'm going to give you 10 more seconds to submit your votes here in the stream. And then we're going to make the pick here all together. Ross says, Casey reportedly only has first-round grades on 16 players. I bet they trade up or down. Yeah, that could make sense. Steven says, I haven't been able to stop thinking about the draft. It's like a cute waitress that gave me her number. I love it. Draft day should be a holiday. It should be a public holiday. We should all get off, you know, for work. What time is draft day in Australia? So if you guys don't know, I'm in Sydney, Australia. And the draft will be tomorrow, which will be Friday for me, the 29th at 10 a.m. And I will be live, by the way, on Twitch, actually showing the draft. For as long as they don't take me down, I will be live on Twitch showing you the NFL draft, watching it along with you. So follow us over on Twitch if you'd like to. And of course, you can join our Discord if you'd like to as well to stay up to date. Link is in the description. All right, with the 9th pick, let's see what the results have led us to here in the city of Seattle. We lose Russell Wilson. And oh my goodness, it was so close. Malik Willis had 31%, but with 34% of the vote, I think this makes a lot of sense. If this player is still on the board, book it. Derek Stingley is a Seattle Seahawk. And I'm going to take a little initiative here. I'm going to say there's a trade. The New York Jets, we keep hearing that they're going to make a trade with the San Francisco 49ers. So I'm going to go ahead and take some initiative here and make this trade happen because I think it could happen. This is a predictive thing that I'm doing here. Where the heck is San Francisco? Am I just losing my mind? San Francisco. All right, so they are going to give us Deebo Samuel. We're going to give them the 10th pick. Now, I have to ask you, do you think that there should be more on the Jets side or the Niners side? A lot of people keep saying Deebo's going to cost more than the 10th pick. Should he, though? I mean, I know he was the superstar of last year, but he also has only really stayed healthy for one season. I think the 10th pick is fair. Now, you guys could disagree, but just for the sake of saying that this trade will happen, we're going to go ahead and let's put the 111th pick in there as well, okay? Now, who knows what it really looks like, but the main trade here is the 10th pick and Deebo Samuel going to New York. I think this makes a ton of sense for the Jets. They get Deebo Samuel. He reunites with Bob Saleh, and then they have to pay him big money. But this also helps. This not only helps Zach Wilson, okay, because he gets a real weapon, but it also helps their run game. I mean, how many times could we see Deebo Samuel in the backfield, you know, kind of sharing that work with Michael Carter? Reports came out that it's not so much that he doesn't want to play the hybrid role. He just wants to get paid, okay? So now we have the San Francisco 49ers on the clock. What do we do here? What do we do, guys? Give me who you want in the vote here, okay? Who do you want to vote for? Who does San Francisco want to take here? Now, they just lost their, you know, franchise receiver, so maybe we could go that way. I think that makes a lot of sense, but what do you guys think? What do you want to do here with this pick? So with the 10th pick, what are the 49ers going to do? Let me hear. All right. London, McDuffie, Jameson Williams. Yeah. J-Mo, Drake London, Jermaine Johnson. All right, I'm going to put Drake London here. I'm going to put, I saw someone say Jameson Williams. Brees, this would be way too high for Brees. That would be so upsetting. All right, I'll put a couple options, guys. We're not going to get 100% right, but I do think they'd be looking to replace wide receiver, but I could be wrong. And if I understand they probably want to get a running back in this draft, that would happen later on. All right. You got some options there, okay? Go ahead and vote. The vote is live in the chat with the 10th pick. The 49ers are either going to select Drake London, Jameson Williams, Kyle Hamilton, or Treylon Burks. Kyle Hamilton, I only put him there because, you know, BPA. But, yeah, this is going to be interesting now. Jermaine Johnson, I think it could make sense for Jermaine, but I don't think edge is a huge need for them. I think, to be honest, wide receiver, they need to replace. They need to replace their wide receivers. But go ahead and vote on who you think it should be. I also would not be surprised if they traded down from here, but I just don't know who they would need to trade down because of. You know what I mean? Guys, no way Burks is going that early. I don't know, man. I could see Burks going here, but they would ideally trade back for him. Jameson Williams, 28 votes are in right now. Dion makes a fantastic point, okay? The Niners have done this before with their defensive line, right? Do you guys remember when they traded away DeForest Buckner to the Niners, and then they tried to replace him with, I think it was Kinlaw. Did it work? Probably not. I mean, no, probably not at this point, but he could still develop. Kinlaw could still develop, so. And here's my case for Treylon Burks. Now, you can still vote in the chat. There's still, 29 votes right now. There could be more. But the reason I think Burks could happen here is specifically if it's San Francisco. Because if anyone can use Burks the best way possible, it's Kyle Shanahan in this offense. Like, he would probably know what to do with Treylon Burks. So, I'm going to give you guys 10 more seconds to submit your votes here. 10 more seconds, baby. 10 more seconds. All right. And with the 10th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the pick has been traded to San Francisco. And with 43% of the vote, the 49ers are selecting Treylon Burks. Is a little bit early. Yes, it is a little bit early. But keep in mind, he's going to the right system with the right coach. So that's a fun one there. Now, the Washington football team are on the clock. What do we think is going to happen here? What do we think is going to happen here with the 11th pick? I think the pick is pretty obvious with what's currently on the board, but I keep hearing that they want to go wide receiver. So could they go wide receiver? I think it's an option, but I think there's a very clear player that a lot of you guys are talking about in the chat. So I'll put Kyle Hamilton. I'll put Jameson Williams. I don't think they go edge. Garrett Wilson's off the clock, but I'll put Drake London because I keep hearing Drake London, and I'll put Chris Olave as well. So it looks like it's going to be a wide receiver or Kyle Hamilton. Okay, it's a wide receiver or Kyle Hamilton. That's what I keep hearing as well. I keep hearing the same thing, that it's either it's a wide receiver or Kyle Hamilton. So now you can vote. The poll is live in the chat. I feel like 23423 is just trolling. It's David Ojabo. Do you guys think David Ojabo is going to get first round capital, by the way? I don't know with the Achilles. Hard to say. All right, guys. You heard. Let me rephrase that. Just imagine me as a 10-year-old kid watching the draft. A Washington fan. I got my jersey on. And the card is coming up. You guys have a lot. You have a lot in your hand right now. Don't make 10-year-old Zach upset with this pick, okay? I've been teased in school all offseason because we're called the Commanders now. Come on, please give me a player that makes sense for my franchise. Let me go to school next year or in a couple weeks and be able to say, yeah, I know we're the Commanders. I know it looks terrible, but at least we got this player, okay? Give me some hope. Give all the Washington kids who are fans hope after this tragic Tragic offseason. All right, so 5 seconds on the clock. The commies. All right, so let's see what the pick is. So with the 11th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Kyle Hamilton, safety, Notre Dame. I don't mind the pick. I don't mind it. I think it makes a lot of sense for Kyle Hamilton to go here. I would prefer it to be Kyle Hamilton or Jameson Williams, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is Drake London. If I was a betting man, I would say Kyle Hamilton or Drake London, because I just keep hearing them fall in love with Drake London. I don't want that to happen, but who knows? And I do hope, Garrett, that Dan Snyder gets booted. I really do hope that that happens. All right, so the Vikings are now on the clock here. And keep in mind, guys, we have not seen a quarterback go off the board. I'm not saying that a quarterback should go off the board here. Although, if you watch my most recent mock, I did actually have Malik going here. I don't think that's, I don't think that's going to happen. I did that mock draft from the perspective of what I would do. I see some people saying Jermaine Johnson. I think that could make sense for sure. I think Trent McDuffie. Someone said Trent McDuffie. That could make sense for sure. I like McDuffie, man. In one of my mocks, I had McDuffie going to the Seahawks, and people were not happy. But I guess it just depends on how you view Trent McDuffie. Keep telling me who you want here. I keep hearing Jermaine Johnson. Yeah. Jordan Davis. Okay, I'll put Jordan Davis there as well. I think it's too early for George Karlaftis. I'll be honest, guys. I'm gonna throw a wild card in there. Okay, I'm gonna throw a wild card in there that maybe a lot of you guys don't see happening, but I think it is a possibility. I'm gonna throw a wild card in there for y'all. Might not be this player, but it might be this position. Anyway. A lot of options there. A lot of options. All right. So the poll is now live. So with the 12th pick, you are voting for the Vikings to select either Jermaine Johnson, Trent McDuffie, Jordan Davis, or Jameson Williams. Might not be Jameson Williams, but I don't think wide receiver's out of the question here. Adam Thielen is, what, 31, 32 years old? Justin Jefferson, obviously the future of your team. But you don't want to wait until Adam Thielen is completely kick the curb. Now, do they go wide receiver in the first? Probably not. Depends if they have a higher grade on one of these guys. Probably one of these defensive players, if we're honest. They really need help on defense. Peter says, I own 2 sports jerseys, Darrell Green and Sean Taylor. You're my guy, Peter. I love that. Darrell Green, man. What a legend. And Sean Taylor. That's why I think Kyle Hamilton could be really special, because I think he has the skill sets to be one of the best safeties in the NFL. And he also grew up idolizing Sean Taylor, so I think that would be really fun. He says if Jameson is there at 12, we would pass him. I would be livid. So I'm assuming you're a Vikings fan. Yeah, Jameson Williams and Justin Jefferson would be nasty. That's true. All right, guys, I'm going to give you 5 more seconds. Submit your votes in the live chat with the poll. It is being accounted for. It's just not showing up live. And if you haven't dropped a like, show some love. Drop a like. Every time you drop a like, it just helps us reach more people, and more votes are going to happen in the live stream. So I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. So with the 12th pick of the 2022 NFL Draft, the Dynasty Land Draft, the pick is officially in, and the Minnesota Vikings select Trent McDuffie. So Trent McDuffie is heading to Minnesota. They very much need that help. A lot of mock drafts we kept seeing Derek Stingley fall to 12, but I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I do think Derek Stingley is a locked in, at minimum, top 10 pick. So the Vikings would have to trade up, and I don't think that they would do that. So now with the 13th pick, the Texans are on the clock. So what do we think the Texans are going to do here? Give me some options. Give me some options with the Houston Texans here. I had a specific pick on my last mock, but I'm curious what you guys think. Let me know what y'all think here. Let me know what y'all think. All right, I see a Drake London. Okay. Remember that with the third pick, they went Icky. So, yeah, I think a wide receiver can make sense. All right, I'll put Jermaine Johnson as well. Jermaine Johnson. Someone said Jameson Williams. Garrett said, this is Kyle Hamilton for me, but he's gone. I can understand that. I see Drake, Jameson, London. All right, so you guys definitely think it's going to be wide receiver then. Let me see if there's a wild card I could put in there. I'll put a wild card in there. All right, you got some options here, y'all. All right, go ahead and vote in the chat for the Houston Texans pick. They are selecting between Drake London, Jermaine Johnson, Jameson Williams, and Jordan Big Boy Davis. So let's see who the pick is going to be. Otter says, agreed with this, would be Hamilton if Washington goes wide receiver. Just to recap, everyone who is just joining us, Aiden Hutchinson went number 1. Trayvon went number 2. Icky went 3. Sauce is 4. Giants 5. Charles Cross 6 to the Panthers. Kayvon falls to the Giants. Garrett Wilson goes to Atlanta. Derek Stingler to Seattle. Burks to San Francisco. Kyle Hamilton to Washington. And Trent McDuffie to the Minnesota Vikings. We are making these picks together, and we are trying to predict, not exactly what we want, but we're trying to predict what's going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and end the poll here. And with the 13th pick of the 2022 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select with 42% of the vote, Drake London. Drake London Town ends up in Houston. I think this makes sense. You know, I mean, if we truly want to see what we have in Davis Mills, we've now improved the offensive line for him, and we've also given him another weapon. So Brandon Cooks can stretch the field for us, and Drake London can be that big body that we need. Now, I want to propose something. I think that the Ravens are a prime trade back candidate here. Does anyone feel the same way? Now, if you guys if you don't feel this way, just say no. Just say no, 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 no. Okay? But if you feel like this is a prime trade back for someone who needs a wide receiver, then say yes. Let's do a trade back here. Okay? And if there's more no's than yeses, then that's fine. But I think there's maybe one more wide receiver on the board that one of these teams will be willing to trade up for. Ravens trade with the Browns. I don't know if that's going to work with the picks that they have. I see no's, I see no's, I see no's. Okay, all right. You know what? We won't do a trade back. The only thing I'm going to say is that I think it's very obvious that the Eagles and Saints are going to take a wide receiver. So if the Packers or Chiefs really want an elite guy, then I think this is a prime trade up scenario for one of those two teams. But we will keep this pick. So with the 14th pick, the Ravens are on the clock. And Jordan Davis is an option. I see it. Let's see who else. That's true. I mean, this is actually a prime trade up for the Steelers as well, or whoever does want a quarterback. There's still no quarterbacks off the board. All right, Trevor Penning I've seen. I've seen Wyatt. Jermaine Johnson definitely could make sense. I think it's too early for Penning. I'm sorry, guys. I think it's a little bit too early. Devontae Wyatt, okay. Actually, we'll put Penning in there. All right. All right, with the 14th pick, you can now vote on that pick in the chat. Submit your votes. You're deciding the future of the Baltimore Ravens here. There are 4 options that you have to choose from. Two of them being teammates at the same position. Man, where will Jermaine Johnson go, by the way? I mean, surely he goes top 20, right? You would think so. You would think he would go top 20 at minimum. Go ahead and submit your votes there in the chat. I know it's not registering live results, but when I hit end poll, we will see who the pick is. You got the power here, ladies and gentlemen, to make the future, shaping the future for the Baltimore Ravens. Again, Aiden, number 1, Trayvon, Icky, Sauce, Evan Neal, Charles Cross, Kayvon, Wilson, Stingley, Burks, traded. Debo went to New York. Kyle Hamilton to the Commanders. Trent McDuffie is a Viking, and the London town is now in Houston. So I'm going to give you 5 more seconds to submit your votes here for the Baltimore Ravens pick. So with the 14th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens, oh my God, it is tied between Jordan Davis and Devontae Wyatt. So I'm going to have to make an executive decision here. I think from what I have heard, Jordan Davis will be the first off the board. I'm not saying it should be or he shouldn't be, but Jordan Davis now ends up in Baltimore, and he is the first of those big boys to go off the clock, to go off the board. All right, now the Eagles are on the clock with the 15th pick. So what do we think the Eagles are going to do here, ladies and gentlemen? That's funny, Kyle. No one wins. All right, what do we think the Eagles are going to do here? All right, Jameson Williams, my worst nightmare. Chris Olave, another nightmare I've had. But it could happen, you're right. I feel like Jermaine Johnson's not out of the question, right? Anyone else that we want to put in there? Devin Lloyd, I heard someone say. All right. I'm going to give you guys those options. I think it's going to be a wide receiver, but we'll see. I think it's going to be wide receiver, but we'll see. Derek Stingley's already off the board. He went to the Seahawks. Man, I really don't like their board here at PFF. Their board it's not a very good predictive board in my opinion. But you can now vote on the 14th pick, or sorry, the 15th pick. My bad. So submit your votes in the chat. You can see that the vote is actually live now, which is great. It's good that it's live. So 19 votes so far. 47% of the people are saying Jameson Williams. I'm surprised literally no one voted Chris Olave. Everyone was on the same page that it was going to be Jameson. I love that. I love it, but I also hate it because Jameson Williams to the Vikings just makes me sad. So we got 25 votes now in the chat. I'm going to give you guys 5 more seconds to submit your votes here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So with 56% of the votes, the Philadelphia Eagles at the 15th pick are selecting Jameson Williams, and I will shed a tear if this happens IRL. If this happens IRL, I will genuinely shed a tear because this is worst case scenario in my eyes for fantasy. And if you want to watch the draft live with me, I'll paste a link to our Twitch. Follow us. I'll be live tomorrow watching the draft there. Now the Saints are on the clock, guys. The Saints are on the clock. So what do we think here? What are we thinking? So the 16th pick. What do we think they wanted to do with this pick? Benito. Olave, yeah, I think Olave makes a lot of sense for sure. Trevor Penning, okay. Charles Cross is already off the board. Trevor Penning, okay. Jermaine Johnson, okay. Kenny Pickett, okay. All right, you got 4 options up there based off of what you guys suggested. Yes, Malik Willis is still on the board. I do think he's going to be off the board by this point, to be honest. I think Malik's probably going to end up going to either Carolina, Atlanta, Seattle. I know I've said Minnesota. I think it's an option. Maybe even Detroit. Probably not, but maybe. I do think probably we're going to see Malik Willis gone at this point. But he's on the board. Gator says, who do you think actually drafts the first wide receiver? I would say the first wide receiver is probably drafted by... I would say Atlanta is safe, but I wouldn't be surprised if New York does. If the Giants do. Also wouldn't be surprised if someone traded up to get ahead of one of these guys. But I think Atlanta is probably the safest pick there. All right, so you are voting right now in the chat for the... Who are we on right now? The New Orleans Saints pick. Who are they going to take here? Now, yeah, the PFF board is not predictive. It's the rankings. They should definitely do a predictive board because this is just not a great board to look at. But you got some options here. Olave, Penning, Jermaine Johnson, Kenny Pickett. Your vote is being submitted. I just can't see it. I'm going to give you 5 more seconds to submit your vote in the chat. Malik going to Atlanta. I keep hearing a lot of people talk about that. Potentially Steelers trade up for Willis. Yeah, I could see that happening. I would say if Malik is still on the board after this pick, we should do a trade up for the Steelers. But you guys let me know if you think that's realistic or not. The Steelers or the Titans. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll here. Submit any last minute votes. So let's see how the vote ended up panning out. So with the 16th pick, the New Orleans Saints are selecting Christopher Olave. Welcome to the team, Chris Olave. Now, every time I talk to a Saints fan, they say, we're not drafting a quarterback. In fact, if I put a quarterback in one of my mock drafts, Saints fans get angry about it. So it's interesting at least, right? But I think quarterback's definitely on the cards for them. But I do think wide receiver definitely is a huge need as well. But a lot of people are saying they're going to stick with Jameis Winston. I can see it. I can understand it. And now here we are for the Chargers. I would kind of argue that they are a really good trade back candidate because there's no one that really screams out to me here. And I get that Jermaine Johnson's still on the board, but they don't really need help on edge, at the edge position. There's still a lot of offensive linemen that they can go with. Zion Johnson, Kenyon Green, who I actually prefer, is still on the board as well. Trevor Penning still on the board. So what do you guys think? Should we do a trade back? Should we trade back with the Steelers? Saxter says we should trade back. Have them trade with the Eagles. I just feel like the Eagles have already done a lot of trading. Yeah, they probably could trade back. A lot of people are saying no. All right, so a lot of you guys are saying no. We're not going to trade back. No, 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 no. We got one trade back. It's pretty undetermined, so... If I don't trade now, I'm going to make half of the people upset. And if I do trade, I'm going to make half the people upset as well. All right, I'm seeing a lot of no's. No trade backs. All right, so we're going to stick with the pick here. Then what do you guys think the Chargers are looking for? Give me names. What do you think they're looking for here? Because I think that I don't know. I think they could trade back, but who do we think they're going to go for here? Who do we think? Jameson Williams is already gone, guys. Jameson Williams is already gone. So who's an option that you really want here? Wyatt and Dean. Green. Kenyon Green. Okay. O-line is a need. Okay. How about we put Trevor Penning there then? Look, I'll say this. If they stay here, I do think it's an offensive lineman, personally. I think they could... It just makes sense for them to trade back, to be honest, the more I think about it. But All right, so let me have a look at what some options are. Trevor Penning, I said. We'll put Zion Johnson there as well. They do have a center. Yep, they've got what's his face? He's like a top 3 center in the league, so they're fine at center. Yeah, Penning could make a lot of sense. Kenyon Green. Is there any cornerback that we really like here? Not really this early. I think Andrew Booth's a little too early here. So I'm going to give you guys these options. I think it's offensive lineman if we stay put here. All right, vote on who they're going to be able to draft. All right, you got 3 options here with the Chargers pick between Kenyon Green, Trevor Penning, and Zion Johnson. Pretty much whoever you think is the best offensive lineman on the board at this point. Take your pick. Now, after this pick, I'm curious what you guys want to do. Because do the Steelers trade up with the Eagles in worries that maybe Malik Willis goes to the Saints? The Titans are another team that I think could make sense to trade up for Malik. But I think Malik should have already gone off the board, to be honest. All right, go ahead and submit your votes in the chat. Submit your votes in the chat. Submit your votes in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Submit your votes. Now, I want to ask you guys, do I have your permission to do something crazy? All right. Now, we might not all agree that this could happen, and this might not be a predictive move, but I just want to do something for fun. Now, if you want this to stay 100% predictive, then just say no, keep it predictive. If you want me to make a move that I think could be really fun, say make a move, baby. All right. So just comment. Either say, make a move, baby, or no, keep it predictive, okay? That's what I want. Again, I just need a comment, say, make a move, baby, or no, keep it predictive, all right? And either way is fine. Either way is fine. All right, so with 83% of the vote, the Los Angeles Chargers are selecting Trevor Penning. Where is Trevor Penning for PFF? Oh my God. Okay, there he is. Trevor Penning is now off the board. And now, let's see. Do we have enough make a moves, baby? Let's see. He said make a move, baby. I'm not thinking DK yet, but I think DK could be involved. Make a move, baby. Make a move. Predictive. Predictive. Shake it. Make a move. All right, I'm going to make a move. A lot of you guys aren't going to like this, but again, I think the Eagles are in a prime trade back scenario. And I keep having this thought in my mind that the Titans are not satisfied with Ryan Tannehill. Okay? Now, a lot of you guys probably won't like that I'm thinking this or I'm going this way. But if Malik is really on the board here, then there will be a team that is trying to trade up from picks 14 all the way to 18. From the Ravens to the Eagles, someone is going to trade up to try and get one of these quarterbacks. So I know a lot of people are not going to like this. All right, but where are the Tennessee Titans? The Tennessee Titans have the 26th pick. Now the Eagles, and by the way, in this year's draft, I do not think that this is going to be all that difficult to move up in this year's draft. In other drafts, it might be different, but we consistently hear that players 15 to like 70 are all in a similar grade for a lot of these NFL scouts. So I don't think it's going to cost all that much to really move up. But what we're going to do is we're going to give pick 90. Okay, so that's a third rounder. And we're also going to give a second round pick. Does everyone agree that this is fair? Okay. So we're going to give our 90th pick in this year's draft, as well as a second rounder in next year's draft. I don't think it's going to cost any more than that. So This is to move up from the 26th spot to the 18th spot. You can disagree with the value, but let's say that this happens. All right. So now the Tennessee Titans are on the clock. And yes, I'm making an executive decision here that they are going to take Malik Willis. Malik Willis is now a Tennessee Titan. Why does this make sense? Well, let's talk about it. Ryan Tannehill is going to be 35 years old this season. Do you think that the GM in Tennessee is happy? Do you think the front office is happy watching their defense play lights out, but then seeing Ryan Tannehill absolutely implode and throw 3 interceptions? All they needed to do was play competent offense, and they weren't able to get that from Ryan Tannehill. So I think this move, if Malik is on the board, then absolutely expect someone to trade up for Malik Willis. I think the Ravens are a prime trade up spot ahead of the Saints and the the Saints really. I think the same for the Chargers as well as the Eagles here in front of the Steelers. Think about this. If the Titans really want to shake it up, they need to jump the Saints and the Steelers to get this pick. Malik should have gone way earlier, but I think this is fun, and I don't think it's out of the question, okay? So now Malik is a Tennessee Titan, and that is such a fun spot that no one's talking about because he's probably not going to be available for them to move up for. But man, that's such a fun spot. And now the New Orleans Saints are back on the clock, all right? Now Pittsburgh is fuming, okay? Pittsburgh is fuming. And by the way, I don't think Tannehill is a bad quarterback either. If anyone's thinking that, I'm not saying that Ryan Tannehill is a bad quarterback, but at the end of the day, the Titans, how do we think about them going into the offseason or into the playoffs? Everyone thought that they were true contenders for the playoffs, and then they couldn't even win one playoff game. So I think eventually you do have to make a change. So what do the Saints do? What do we want to vote on here? Okay, so with the 19th pick, give me some options. Give me some options. I think the Saints are on the clock. Jermaine Johnson, someone said. Okay, Jermaine Johnson. Anyone else that we think could make sense here? All right, how about I add... I think Kenny Pickett isn't out of the question. I know Saints fans don't want a quarterback, but to be honest, I just think it makes sense that they might go quarterback. Why else would they have made that move? All right, what do we think the Saints are going to do here? Devontae Wyatt. Okay, Devontae Wyatt could make sense. Matt Corral. All right, I'll put Matt Corral there. They do have a quarterback on contract. I understand that, but it's not as if he's confirmed their long-term deal, their long-term option, and it's only a 2-year deal, so I don't think it's out of the question they go linebacker here. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different ways that they could really go here. Let's be honest. All right, you got some options there. So you can now vote in the chat on what the New Orleans Saints will do. Jermaine Johnson, Kenny Pickett, Devontae Wyatt, Matt Corral, all options here for the New Orleans Saints. Keeping in mind that they did go Chris Olave with their first pick, which they probably feel pretty good about. A lot of the wide receivers are off the board, those top tier guys. So will be interesting to see if the Packers and Chiefs do regret not moving up, if they don't. So go ahead and submit your votes. If you want to know how to vote, it's in the chat box. You can vote there, okay? And if you hit the vote button and it doesn't register, don't worry. It did register. It just is a little bit of a glitch. And if you haven't dropped a like on the video, show some love. Drop a like. This is pretty fun. I'm having fun. Man, I actually really want Malik to go to Tennessee now. Like, now that I've seen his name next to the logo, there's just some connection where you're like, oh, that would be sick. The two teams that I think are real underdogs for Malik would be the Titans and the Vikings. I know people don't like that, but I think they're true underdogs, meaning it's unlikely that it happens, but don't rule them out. Malik is probably gone in the first 10 picks, though. Let's be honest. All right, you have 5 more seconds to submit your vote in the chat for the New Orleans Saints pick. All right, so with the 19th pick of the 2022 NFL Draft, the Saints select Jermaine Johnson from Florida State. Welcome to the squad, Jermaine. This is probably... There's no way Jermaine falls here, right? We just didn't know what team to really fit him on, if we're honest. Jermaine to the Vikings could maybe make sense as well. But Jermaine Johnson falls to the Saints. I think that's fantastic value for the Saints. They lose out on Malik. Maybe they had Malik higher on their board. But now the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock. So what do we think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to do with the 20th pick? Man, I'm so excited for the draft. I just want it to be draft day. So what do we think is an option here? Kenny Pickett, Linderbaum. Okay. David Ojabo. Would they go edge? I don't think they need edge help. Let me just have a look as well and just think who can make sense. We should definitely be putting an offensive lineman here, like Zion Johnson or Kenyon Green, for you guys to vote on as well. So, yeah, someone already said Linderbaum, so yeah, that makes sense. But I'm gonna put a bunch of options here for you guys. Okay. All right, so you can now vote on the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is Kenny Pickett, Linderbaum, Kenyon Green, or Zion Johnson. And while you guys are voting in the chat, I will recap. We can see here picks 1 to 5. I'm not going to name them, but you can see them. We see picks 6 to 10. Now the Niners traded with the Jets, and the Jets got Debo. Kyle Hamilton falls to Washington. Drake London to the Texans. And then we see a run on wide receivers. And then Malik Willis. I can just picture Malik in Titan colors. I just think that would be such a cool spot. It's not going to happen, but it would be so cool. All right. You got 5 more seconds to make a pick here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to take a little water break. All right, so with the 20th pick of the 2022 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Steel City, selects with 38% of the vote. Okay, I'm going to have to make an executive decision here because it is 38% between Linderbaum and Pickett. I'm going to go ahead and say the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to select Kenny Pickett, quarterback, Pittsburgh. I almost said Penn State. So Kenny Pickett goes to Pittsburgh. I think it could make sense. Don't rule out the Steelers going quarterback. And by the way, if Malik Willis goes 2 picks before them and they don't trade up, they will be absolutely devastated. So Kenny Pickett goes to Pittsburgh. This makes a lot of sense. I mean, Mike Tomlin has watched Kenny Pickett for about 4 years on the practice field. They share a practice field. So I think that could make sense. They could absolutely go tackle as well and skip the quarterback position. But now the Patriots are on the clock. What do we think the Patriots are going to do here with the 21st pick? Give me some options here, guys, with the 21st pick. Who do you want to vote on? Who do we want the Patriots to look at? All right. I see a Devin Lloyd. Yeah, the Patriots could trade back. But who would they trade back with at this point? Like, who is the player that people want to trade up for? Is there anyone that people want to trade up for? I'm just looking. You know what I mean? Like, who would they trade or who would they jump? Give me a scenario here. Why would a team want to trade up to 21? Who are they looking for? What team are they trying to jump here? Let me know. Brees Hall. Yeah, I remember what you said, Kyle. Who are they going to trade down with, guys? Chiefs go ahead of Packers for Pickens. I just don't think the Chiefs would trade up for him. Just got a report. Darren Waller told Zach Gelb that despite any pre-draft rumors connecting him to the Packers, the Raiders told him that he's staying in Las Vegas. That's not a thing that's happening. And there's no trade that's going to happen, Waller said. Okay? You heard it here first. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Darren Waller staying put. All right, we're going to make a pick here. We're going to make a pick. I just don't think that there's enough. There's not like a player on the board I see someone trading up for. So I'll put Devin Lloyd there. I see people saying George Karlaftis, so I'll put George Karlaftis on the board. All right, Andrew Booth Jr. could make some sense here. I'll put him on the board. I see you. Devontae Wyatt could definitely make sense. So those will be our options here, guys. Those will be our options. I think all of those players also address a need for this team. So you can now vote. You can now vote in the chat. And I just saw a tweet from Packers Bergen. Says Chris Olave mentions that he's had a lot of conversations with the Packers. Says Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback ever. So maybe we could see the Packers moving up. I actually want to play you guys this audio. Let's see if I can play it for you. This is Chris Olave.
And the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes, I have conversations with the Packers a lot. We had a couple Zoom ins, and I talked to them a little bit, and then I don't really talk to the Chiefs much. But I know they need a receiver, so.
Chris Olave here with us. Could you imagine getting drafted and right away you're playing with Aaron Rodgers? That'd be pretty neat.
Oh, yeah, that would be crazy. Just watching him growing up. I always thought he was the best ever, the best quarterback ever. So just to be able to be on the field with him, that would be huge.
You thought he was better than Brady?
Yeah, I ain't going to lie, man. That's just my opinion. Just watching him, I feel like everything he does is different. So just watching him play, I mean, I feel like everybody would want to play with him.
All right, that is Chris Olave on Aaron Rodgers. Apparently, he thinks that Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback of all time. He said he's had a ton of conversations with the Packers. So that's intriguing. That's definitely interesting. All right, so you guys have had more than enough time to vote here on the Patriots pick. So with the 21st pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots, with 41% of the vote, are selecting George Karlaftis. Welcome to New England, George Karlaftis. I think this makes a lot of sense. They obviously need help on the edge, so he could pair really well with what they currently have there. And now the Green Bay Packers are on the clock. And to be honest, I mean, is there a wide... They probably have to go wide receiver here, right? Right? What do we think, guys? Give me some options. What do we think they're going to do here? With the 22nd. 2-3-4-2-3. Always just keep saying Breece Hall. All right, so we got George Pickens. We got Sky Moore. We've got Jahan Dotson as options. I'm seeing what you guys are putting down. George Pickens, Jahan Dotson. Imagine they go quarterback here. Oh my God, that would be so frustrating. Anyone else that we think? I mean, let's put Christian Watson. Let's just say it's going to be a wide receiver then. And you guys choose on what wide receiver you think it's going to be. Yeah, if this pick is a quarterback, all hell will break loose. All hell will break loose. But did anyone expect Jordan Love to be drafted? By the way, what did you guys think of my... I had a DK Metcalf trade. Do we want to do a DK Metcalf trade here? I want you to either comment down below, make the pick, or trade for DK. Make the pick or trade for DK. Probably the more realistic scenario is that they make the pick, but... So, just comment down below. Either make the pick or trade for DK. We see Garrett saying pick. Metcalf traded to Buffalo. That would be hard for them to pull off. All right, pick. Steven wants a pick. Make the pick. Make the pick. Trade for DK. It's pretty 50-50. If they could, I'd love the DK trade. Pick. Trade for Lockett. Trade for DK. All right, let's see. I'm going to count them up. All right, so let's see. With making the pick, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we have 5 make the picks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's pretty much 50-50. It's pretty much 50-50. All right, we're going to make the pick. We're going to make the pick. All right, so make sure you vote. Make sure you vote here. I have a feeling that Metcalf is probably staying in Seattle. All right, so I'm going to give you 5 more seconds to vote on who the Packers are going to draft here. So with the 22nd pick of the 2022 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers, who are they going to select? They are selecting George Pickens. Welcome to the squad, George Pickens. You are a Green Bay Packer. So it's either they pick George Pickens here or they have to trade a haul for DK Metcalf. You got to decide what you think is better for the team. And now the Arizona Cardinals are on the clock here with the 23rd pick. Jeremy says, no, not my guy Pickens. Hey, this would be a fantastic landing spot for Pickens in fantasy, in Dynasty. That's my wide receiver 2 going off the board there in the class in George Pickens. So personally, I don't think it's too high. I really don't think it's too high. Other people might, though. With the 23rd pick, the Cardinals select what? Yeah, that's true. I guess they wouldn't really want to trade DK in division, but at the same time, it depends on how much they get. All right, I see Devontae Wyatt. I see Zion Johnson. I see Andrew Booth. Anyone else that you guys want to put in there? Someone said Breeze. I don't think they go Breeze here, though, if we're doing predictive. I guess I kind of stopped doing predictive when I made some interesting moves. Zion Johnson definitely could make some sense. Kenyon Green could make some sense. All right. You got some options there. All right, so with the 23rd pick, you can now vote in the chat between Devontae Wyatt, Zion Johnson, Andrew Booth Jr., and Kenyon Green. So go ahead and make your votes here. I don't think wide receivers are the question either, but I guess now that AJ Green is back, maybe they don't focus on wide receiver first round. Maybe they go wide receiver third round or something, because they do have bigger needs at this point for sure. So go ahead and submit your vote in the chat. If you're wondering if your vote is being counted, it is. It's just there's a little bit of a glitch with YouTube. All right, so I'm going to give you 10 more seconds to vote on the pick. Let's see what happens here. All right, so with the 23rd pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals are going to select Andrew Booth Jr., cornerback out of Clemson. Had an up and down year, but a really good prospect. So he's going to go ahead and help them out. And now the Dallas Cowboys are on the clock here. What do we think the Dallas Cowboys are going to be doing here with the 24th pick? What are the Cowboys going to be doing here? Someone said Kenyon Green, David Ojabo. I think 2424. I think you just have that copy and pasted. Does David Ojabo? I mean, I guess we could put David Ojabo here. I don't think he's going to be a first rounder. All right, let's see who makes sense here. I mean, look, Devontae Wyatt's still on the board. That feels like a Jerry Jones move. Zion Johnson still on the board, as well as Kenyon Green. I'll put Zion Johnson, Kenyon Green. Tyler Linderbaum. Yeah, that could make sense for sure. Devontae Wyatt. All right, I gave you 4 options there. Go ahead and vote in the chat. It's actually David Njobo's spam account, or his burner. I love it. All right. So you can choose now between Linderbaum, Zion Johnson, Devontae Wyatt, and Kenyon Green. BMAX says Burks here IRL. Could be. Wouldn't be a surprise if Burks fell here. All right, the vote is kind of tight here between Kenyon Green and Tyler Linderbaum. If you haven't voted yet, vote in the chat. You can see the poll there, and you can make your picks there as well. And just while we're waiting for this, again, I will remind you guys that I will be live tomorrow for the NFL Draft on Twitch. I'll paste my link, the link to our Twitch there, if you'd like to join me, if you'd like to watch the draft with me. I will have the actual draft live for as long as they allow it, for as long as they don't kick me off the stream. All right, I'm going to give you 5 more seconds to submit any last minute votes. So with the 24th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Kenyon Green, guard from Texas A&M. I think that makes a lot of sense for them. They definitely need to get younger on their offensive line. And now the Buffalo Bills are on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so with the 25th pick, what do we think the Bills are going to do here? I think Breece Hall's a real option for sure. I would say Devontae Wyatt, if he falls here, he's also a real option as well. I really think that those are the main ones between Breece and Devontae. But where else could they go if they wanted to go somewhere else? I guess Christian Watson's an option. Or Sky Moore. But I really think it's either Breece or Devontae here, if those are the players available. So you can go ahead and vote. The poll is now live in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Steven says, if you don't show it and you just live react, they won't take you down. Yeah, that is definitely true, Steven. I just think it's way more fun when you guys can see what's going on. But Twitch didn't take us down when we watched the Combine. We had like 200 people watching over there on Twitch for the Combine. So I don't think Twitch cares as much, but I could be wrong. We could get taken down tomorrow. And if we do, then I'll figure something out. Levon says, I think it makes sense for them to grab Breece Hall, but highly doubt that they grab him, knowing that office. Garrett says, I'm from Buffalo. Pretty much all my Bills fans here hate Tremaine Edmonds, and they love Devin Lloyd. Okay. You know what? Devin Lloyd probably could have been an option there. That's my bad for not putting him. Although, I feel like they would go running back over linebacker if they had to choose one. But who knows? You got 5 more seconds to make the pick here. Make sure you vote in the chat. All right, so with the 25th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Breece Hall with 68% of the vote. Breece Hall is a Buffalo Bill, ladies and gentlemen. And now the Eagles are back on the clock. So keep in mind, they traded back with the Titans, who were able to grab Malik Willis. And they also gave a 2023 second as well as their third in this year's draft. And still very good options on the board for them. There's probably some fantasy influence on that pick for sure. But I also do think that it is a possibility. If anyone's going to go running back in the first, I think the Bills are the only team that really makes sense. Might not happen for sure, but I think it can make sense. So with the 26th pick, what are the Eagles going to do here? Devin Lloyd is an option. Let's see. Devin Lloyd definitely could make sense. I agree. Don't forget, with the first pick, we took Jameson Williams. Okay. Devontae Wyatt. Yeah, that could make sense. I don't think Tyler Linderbaum is out of the question. Just because they have, they definitely need some youth there. I think someone said Kyer Elam. Okay, so we'll put Kyer Elam. But I think this is the best case scenario for the Eagles. They get to trade back and they still get to get someone that they probably were targeting with their 19th pick, right? So let's see what you guys think. But go ahead and make a pick here. You can vote in the chat. Wyatt to replace Cox next year. Yeah, that's why I put center and defensive lineman, because Kelsey's not getting any younger, so Linderbaum can make sense. But then Cox is also not getting any younger, so they could bring some youth to either of those positions. But then again, Devin Lloyd can be a true X factor for this team. A lot of people keep comparing Devin Lloyd to like Fred Warner, and I can kind of see it. So go ahead and make a pick. Kyle says it's definitely possible. Just think it's moved the percent a tiny bit. Totally, I agree. All right, I'm going to give you 5 more seconds to make your pick. Five more seconds here. So with the 26th pick in a trade with the Tennessee Titans, the Philadelphia Eagles with 69% of the vote select Devin Lloyd, linebacker, Utah. I like it. So now the Tampa Bay Bucks are on the clock. How is Devontae Wyatt still here, guys? Do we think that Devontae Wyatt could be an option here? All right, I see Elam, Kyer Elam. Yep, he can make sense. Jahan Dotson. All right, Jahan Dotson. I'm going to put Devontae Wyatt because I just don't think he should be on the board still. Who else can make sense here for the Bucks, guys? How about Zion Johnson? I think Zion Johnson could make sense too. David Ojabo. I love it. All right, you can now vote between Kyer Elam, Jahan Dotson, Devontae Wyatt, and Zion Johnson. You can go ahead and submit your vote now in the chat. Let's see who it's going to be. What percentage of picks do you think that we're going to hit on this draft, guys? I would say around 15% if we hit. It's gonna be crazy. I wonder who the first oh my god moment is gonna be. I mean, if Malik goes to the Lions, that will be an oh my god moment for sure. All right, I'm going to give you... Garrett says 5%. I love it. I'm going to give you 5 more seconds to make the pick here. All right, so with the 27th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with 58% of the vote. The slide finally stops, and Devontae Wyatt finds a new home in Tampa Bay. I mean, that is just best case scenario for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Devontae Wyatt is pick 27, and Jordan Davis is pick 14, and they were tied. Crazy that Devontae Wyatt fell this far. And now the Packers are back on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. What do we think the Packers are going to do here? Give me some options. Give me some options here with the Packers' 28th pick. Don't forget they took George Pickens with their first. So probably not going to double dip, but I guess it could be possible. Raymond. Okay, we'll put Bernard Raymond. We'll put Nakobe Dean. Okay. We'll put Jahan Dotson. I'll put Zion Johnson there as well because I think that could make sense for them. All right. You can go ahead and vote on the picks now. Remember, if you're watching, you can actually vote as well. Just through the chat, the live chat, you can submit your vote on each of his pick. It is actually Ojabo's burner. David Ojabo is sitting down right now watching the Fantasyland Dynasty football stream. I love it. What an honor. David, your story is really cool. I'm sorry that injury happened to you, brother. That's painful. That is painful, my guy. All right, I'm going to give you 10 more seconds to make a pick, to vote on a pick. So, with the 28th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, we went Pickens at 22, and at 28, we are going to draft Nakobe Dean. I did not expect Nakobe Dean to be the pick here, but welcome to the squad, Nakobe Dean. And now the Chiefs are on the clock. Pickens is gone. There's a lot of wide receivers gone. Pickens isn't there anymore. Olave definitely far gone. What do we think here, guys? What are we thinking? What's the pick? I just don't think Ojabo is going to get picked. I just don't think so. Boye Mafe. Yep, okay. All right, what we're going to do is we're just going to say they're going to take a safety, and then we will vote on a different position. Or sorry, we're going to say they're going to take a wide receiver. We'll vote on the wide receiver, and then we'll vote on the other position that they go. So I'm going to put Jahan Dotson here. I'm going to put Sky Moore here. I don't really think they go Christian Watson, but I will put him here, and I hope, you know, because I'm a Chiefs fan, I hope that they don't do that. But I'll give you 3 options, and then after this wide receiver pick, then we will go defensive pick, okay? And we will choose what defensive player we should go. So vote on what wide receiver it's going to be to Kansas City. I really hope it's George Pickens, but it could be Jahan Dotson. It really could be. Sky Moore would be really fun as well. You guys know I'm a big Sky Moore guy. A big Sky Moore guy. Yeah, I agree. Daxton Hill could be really interesting. I think PFF actually has Daxton as a cornerback, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, which is weird. Don't really understand that, but okay. Do they not have Jalen Petrie as a safety either? What? Petrie they have as a cornerback as well. What in the world? So weird. All right, so let's see who the pick is going to be. So with 54% of the vote, it looks like the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be drafting Jahan Dotson from Penn State. Welcome to the squad. That would be really exciting for fantasy purposes. And now the Chiefs are back on the clock. So what do we think with the 30th pick the Chiefs are going to do here? Obviously, it's going to be defense. Heard someone say Daxton Hill. I think that could make sense. Boye Mafe, yeah, that could make sense for sure. Boye Mafe, Daxton Hill. Does anyone else really make sense here? Kyrie Elam. I don't think Kyrie Elam is out of the question. That's probably it, though. We'll put David Ojabo for the lulz. And if David Ojabo does go first round, it'll be one of these last picks. But I just don't think he will. All right, go ahead and vote on who you think this 30th overall pick is going to be between Daxton Hill, Boye Mafe, Kyrie Elam, and David Ojabo. David Ojabo's burner account is cheering right now. Falcons trade up to 32. Yeah, the Falcons could trade up to 32. Some team definitely could. I guess would the Lions not take a quarterback themselves though? Do you know what I mean? Maybe they don't feel like they want to take a quarterback yet. Could be interesting. I keep hearing Washington talk about Matt Corral. Apparently Washington is obsessed with Matt Corral. All right, so with the 30th pick of the 2022 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs with 53% of the vote are going to take Daxton Hill, who is a safety. PFF have him as a cornerback, but he is a safety. So welcome to Kansas City. And now the Bengals are on the clock. I mean, yes, Ritter is available. I think it could make sense for sure for the Lions. But with the 31st pick, I mean, should we really vote? Because I feel like it's going to be Linderbaum. I just think that makes way too much sense. Should we really vote on this? Okay, we should, because some people are suggesting something else. Kyrie Elam. I'll put Tyler Linderbaum. Well, okay, I'll put David Ojabo for sure. All right, those are your three options. So go ahead and vote in the chat now. You get to vote between Elam, Linderbaum, and Ojabo. I think if Tyler Linderbaum is on the board here, you can lock it in for the Bengals. It just makes way too much sense. Man, the Bengals reloaded, didn't they? Little recap for anyone. You can kind of see how the draft started. So go ahead and submit your votes in the chat. So with 64% of the vote, the Bengals are going to draft Tyler Linderbaum here. And now with the last pick, what do we think the Detroit Lions do here? What do we think is an option for the Detroit Lions with the 32nd pick here? What are we thinking, guys? Sam Howell. Okay. Sam Howell, Desmond Ritter, Matt Corral. All right. What if they don't go? What if they don't go quarterback? Who could be an option? I don't think Lewis Scene's out of the question for them. Arnold Ebiketie could be interesting for them. All right. We'll say it's a quarterback then. All right, guys, we'll say that this is a quarterback. You know, keeping in mind that they have the 34th pick, so if they do want to go defensive back or wide receiver, they could probably do it with that pick as well. So if they are going quarterback, it would make sense to do 32 for sure. All right. Go ahead and vote in the chat now for the last pick of the first round. For the very last pick of the first round, ladies and gentlemen. All right, you have 5 seconds to submit your votes. So with the 32nd pick, the last pick in the first round with a trade via Los Angeles, I think this could happen. The Lions are going to select Desmond Ridder, quarterback for the Detroit Lions. So that is the first round, guys. This was really fun. We will recap here. Aiden Hutchinson. Now, I can take a minute to talk fantasy impact. I want to ask you guys a question. Do you want me to rapid fire select the second round? Because I will rapid fire the second round for you right now. I can't tell you how much information I have on the defensive players in the second round. But if you want me to do it, I'll YOLO do it real. I'll do every pick in like 5 seconds for the lulz. So we have Aiden Hutchinson, Trayvon Walker. A lot of people want me to do that. All right. YOLO, let's do it, baby. So the Jags are on the clock, and I'm not even going to look at the chat when I'm doing this. You guys are probably not going to like some of the moves I'm going to make. And you know what? I really need to pick up the Draft Network's predictive. I want their predictive board because PFF board is so weird. So let's see here. I just want to see the board. Okay. So the Jags are on the clock here. What could the Jags do with this pick? They could go linebacker, but there's not really a linebacker that I think makes a lot of sense for them here. I think it would be a little bit of a reach. But how about safety? And I know that this player is not a safety technically in PFF's grade. But Jalen Petrie, I really love me some Jalen Petrie. So I'm going to take him here with the 33rd pick. Now the Lions are on the clock. They could go linebacker. They could go defensive back. They could go wide receiver. I'm going to go wide receiver. And who are the wide receivers on the board? And the reason I'm going wide receiver is because we just took Desmond Ridder. Okay? So let's go ahead and give Ridder something to kind of continue to grow with. And I'm going to go ahead and take Sky Moore. Welcome to Detroit. Now the Jets are on the clock. Who do we go? Again, we've got Debo in the building as well as Ahmad Sauce Gardner. And now I think we could potentially go offensive line here. So I'm actually going to go Bernard Raymond here. There's questions about Mekhi Becton. Now the Giants are on the clock. The Giants, if we remember, they went Kayvon and Evan Neal. So what would the Giants do here, man? Kayvon and Evan Neal. So we didn't get a cornerback, is that right? No, we did not. So let's go ahead and grab Kyer Elam here. Cornerback out of Florida. Now the Texans could do literally anything. But I think something that could make a lot of sense if we don't go defensive in the first round. We went Icky and Drake London. Let's go ahead and take Arnold Ebiketie here for the Houston Texans. He's definitely a name that could go in the first round. Don't be surprised if he does. And now the Jets are back on the clock. What do the Jets do with this pick? A lot of options. Remember that we already have Debo in the building. We already have Debo here. Man, what do we do here? I do not know what to do. Did we get an edge defender? No, we got a cornerback and we got Debo. And then we also picked up an offensive lineman, right? Let's go Boye Mafe, edge out of Minnesota. And now the Bears are on the clock. Is there any wide receivers that make sense here? I think it's too early for a wide receiver based off of who's there. But how about offensive tackle or offensive line? Zion Johnson, welcome to the squad, Zion. We desperately need to protect our boy, Justin Fields. And the Seahawks, in the first round, we went Derek Stingley. Do we go quarterback here? Fuck it. Let's go Matt Corral. Welcome to Seattle. Welcome to Seattle, Matt Corral. And now the Colts are on the clock. They could use wide receiver help. They could also use help at cornerback. Is there any cornerbacks that we like enough here? Kyler Gordon. I like Kyler Gordon. Welcome to the squad. Now the... Oh, wait. I thought that was the Colts on the clock. I didn't realize that the Seahawks had back-to-back picks. Hey, screw it. Let's get the defensive backs. Every defensive back we can. Okay, now we have the Colts on the clock. I've already screwed this. Who could the Colts go here? Is Lewis Seen maybe an option? Lewis Seen could make some sense. I guess Jaquan Brisker could make some sense. Let's go Lewis Seen here. Falcons are back on the clock. We got to get a quarterback here. Welcome to the team, Samuel Howell. And I want to probably grab a wide receiver here for the Browns. I'm just not sure if there's one that I love. So let's go ahead and go defensive line. Welcome to the team, Travis Jones. There's a lot of first-round hype around him. I think he more slips to the second round. Cornerback could make sense here for the Ravens because didn't we go defensive line? I'm pretty sure we went defensive line. Is there any quarterback here that we want? Kyrie Elam is already gone. Kyler Gordon is also gone now. I'm not sure there's a cornerback that could make a lot of sense here. Let's go ahead and just keep building the offensive line then. Welcome to the team, Tyler Smith. Now the Vikings are on the clock. If we remember properly, the Vikings went Trent McDuffie. So I think edge could make sense here for the Vikings because, man, we are awful at edge. And is David Ojabo on the clock? Welcome to the Vikings, David Ojabo. And now the Washington football team. We went Kyle Hamilton. So we improved our defense. Is there really a guard that we could take here? No. Maybe we have to go wide receiver here. What the hell do we do? I think wide receiver or cornerback could maybe make sense. All right, I'm going to... Watson doesn't feel like a good fit. Watson doesn't feel like a good fit to me. What the hell would we do with this pick? This is probably a little bit of a reach, but I think we're going to have to because I don't really see anyone else on the board that I love. Tyreek Woolen, welcome to the squad. PFF has him low, but I think I would take him as the next cornerback off the board. And now I think this is where Christian Watson could maybe make a little bit more sense there. Could play the outside for the Bears. Now the Saints are on the clock here. What do we do with the Saints? We went Chris Olave and Jermaine Johnson. Chris Olave, Jermaine Johnson. I think safety could make sense here. I don't think it's a quarterback that we really want. Nah, Carson Strong. It's too early for Carson Strong. What safeties are on the board? Jaquan Brisker. We don't really need an edge in with this pick. So we're going to go ahead and grab Jaquan Brisker here. We lost safety and free agent. And now I think Drake Jackson makes a lot of sense to help out the Chiefs. We need a young edge rusher there. We got our safety in Daxton Hill in the first round. Now the Eagles are back on the clock. The Eagles got Devin Lloyd and Jamison Williams. So really the Eagles could go anywhere here. I'm going to go Roger McCreary for them. Let's get a defensive back to help. And now the Steelers are back on the clock, and we went Kenny Pickett. Isn't that right? Yes, we went Kenny Pickett. So who could we go here to help out Kenny Pickett? Should we help out Kenny Pickett, or should we just keep improving the defense? Is there really any tackles that we like? I don't think so. No, these would all be huge reaches. You know what? Screw it. I mean, we got to get some offensive line help. There's no one there that I like. I mean, we're going to be kind of boxing Abraham Lucas, really? Is that really the best offensive tackle available? Who else is on the clock here? Raymond's already gone. How about Falele? Is Falele still there? They have him hella low. Where is Falele? Where do they have my guy? 157? Well, screw it. That's what I'm going to take there. Fight me. All right, the Packers, we got George Pickens as well as Nakobe Dean. So we're going to go ahead and just add to the defense here. We're going to grab Nick Bonito. I don't hate that pick there. With the Patriots, we went George Karlaftis. So we already went edge. And Quay Walker feels like a Patriot to me. So welcome to the team, Quay Walker. With the Cardinals pick, what do we do here? We went Andrew Booth. What wide receivers are on the board here? I'm going to go John Mechie. I'm going to go John Mechie here to the Cardinals. I wouldn't be surprised if they went back-to-back wide receivers in the second round. I still like Rondale Moore, but it wouldn't surprise me if they tried to replace Kirk with Mechie, even though they're different players. Now the Cowboys are back on the clock, and the Cowboys took Kenyon Green in the first round. Why don't we go ahead and take a linebacker? Is Chanel who I want to take here? Muma, it's too early for Muma. Let's go Christian Harris here. Linebacker, Alabama. Welcome to the squad. And now the Bills are on the clock. Feels like a little bit of a reach for one of these guys. Who did we go with I think we went Devontae Wyatt, didn't we? No, we went Breece Hall. Yeah, we went Breece Hall. Okay. I don't know what to do with this pick. Just being honest here, I don't know what to do with this pick. All right, we're going to just go Leo Chenal here. Back-to-back linebackers. And now, I know a lot of you guys are saying, when is Kenneth Walker going to come off the board? Comes off the board here at pick 58. So we are improving that offense. Kenneth Walker falls to the Falcons at pick 58. We also got Sam Howell and Garrett Wilson. So we are just going all offense in this draft here. So now we have the Packers back on the clock. Friendly reminder, the Packers, we went Nakobe Dean and George Pickens. Nakobe Dean, George Pickens, and then Nick Bonito. So we went edge, wide receiver, linebacker. Edge, wide receiver, linebacker is what we did there. Edge, wide receiver, linebacker. Is there a cornerback on the board or a safety maybe that we like? Hey, Logan Hall's still on the board. That's a huge oversight from PFF. Where's Logan Hall? Yeah, welcome to the squad, bro. I mean, this guy could be a first-round pick. All right, Bucks are on the clock. We went Devontae Wyatt, isn't that right? Yes, it is right. Well done. So now I think we could maybe see a wide receiver off the board here. Not really a wide receiver that makes a lot of sense to me though. It's too early for center. I'm gonna go Trey McBride here. All right, we don't have a tight end really that we can call a true fit for us yet, because Gronk, we don't know if he's coming back. Now Trey McBride's in the picture. If you add Gronk back to this offense, oh my God, that is nasty. Now the Niners are back on the clock. Now don't forget we got Treylon Burks with our first pick. We got Treylon Burks with our first pick. Is there any guard that makes sense here? Probably not. I just don't think that there's really a guard that makes sense there. Maybe we should just improve the offensive line again. Is there a cornerback that I like here? Is Roger McCreary, did I already give him to someone? Yes. Not really anyone here that I'm in love with. You know what? We'll take Josh Pascal. Welcome to the squad. I don't think it's a need for us, but I don't know these defensive players at this point, to be honest. Most of them. So we went Daxton Hill, Jahan Dotson. And then didn't we have another pick? Daxton Hill, Jahan Dotson, Drake Jackson. So we went edge, wide receiver, cornerback, or safety. Edge, wide receiver, safety. Chad Muma, welcome to the squad. These are terrible picks, I know. Bengals are on the clock. What do we do here if we're the Bengals? We took Linderbaum with our first pick. Linebacker could be cool, but is Asamoah too early here? I like Troy Anderson better, so I'm going to take Troy Anderson here. And now the Broncos are on the clock. What could the Broncos do here? Maybe improve the offensive line? What do you guys think about that? I mean, I'm not even looking at any of your comments. Is Sean Ryan still there? Let's see, is Sean Ryan still there? Welcome to the squad, Sean. All right, that was a terrible second round. But we did it. We got through it. Okay. So we got through it, guys. We got through it. There is the first round. I feel much better about the first round than the second, but the second happened. But that was fun, guys. Again, I will be live tomorrow on Twitch if you want to join me. Tim the Fat Dad, what's up, brother? I'm doing good. How about you? I'm sorry if I missed your comment there. But if you want to join me tomorrow for the draft, I am live on Twitch. Join the Discord if you want information with the link in the descriptions. And thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. And we will see you tomorrow. Best day of the year. I'm looking at your comments now. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. We'll see you tomorrow.